Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Eddie, and I'm back with another episode of Vivy Fluorite Eye Song Review, and this time we are reviewing episode 10. Dang, I can't believe we're already this far into the show. Honestly, I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like long ago since I started this show, but time flies, I guess. Anyways, I'm just gonna say this up in front. I knew that Osamu was Matsumoto. I freaking called it, okay? Like, the moment I saw him, I'm like, is this guy the Dr. Matsumoto that we're eventually gonna see? And turns out, yes, that's right. It is Dr. Matsumoto. Also, another thing I kind of want to say is that I actually did not see that AI rebellion coming. Like, I knew that it would eventually happen. Like, there's a chance that it might eventually happen and that the Singularity Project might fail, but I mean, given how wholesome this entire episode was, I didn't see this absolute mess just coming right at us in like a post-credit scene. That was pretty crazy. Also, on a side note, does anyone think that young Dr. Matsumoto just looks like a male version of Momoka? I mean, just like look at the eyes and stuff, like the eyes, the face. They look so similar. Alright, so basically we start off this episode with Vivy being in a museum now after being retired. Also, I just want to say this one thing, but Vivy looks extra beautiful this episode. I'm just going to say that. I'm not sure why, but maybe it's just the art style. Anyhow, I just want to say Vivy looks really pretty this episode, and I love that. Yeah, anyhow, I suppose we're following close to official history in that regard, because they mentioned in episode 1 that Vivy has become a museum piece, and yeah, so Vivy's retired, her career is just over. I mean, it's really sad if I think about it, like, because, you know, Vivy's entire purpose in life, like, Vivy, or at least when we first found her, was sing and make people happy, and now that's gone, so I mean, shoot, she can't even help with the Singularity Project anymore since, like, that's over too, so I mean, I guess Vivy really is just a museum piece now. And also, it looks like that Vivy lost the ability to sing. I'm not sure whether this is a result of Diva's program being released or because of more PTSD or whatever, something like that. Kind of like how she shut down in episode 6, but she does have the, like, physical capacity to sing, and actually I'm sure she does because she still has the vocal cords. She still has, like, the voice box and all, but, you know, Vivy's just she doesn't really feel like singing anymore, I guess. Actually, I'm not sure, because they show us a performance of Vivy singing. I'm not sure when that takes place. Maybe it's her final performance. I think that was her final performance. Like, I'm not sure if that performance we see in episode 9 is actually her final performance. Maybe Vivy did sing for a little while afterwards as Vivy. I don't know, but I mean, it was just such a stark contrast, and it's like seeing an old star past their prime that, like, still, like, past all their glory days, past their, like, glorious moments, it's kind of nothing. Actually, that's exactly what it is, because Vivy's an idol AI, so Vivy's retired now. Like, she used to once, like, be on the stage and have people cheer for her and just all that stuff, and now it's just gone. She's just alone. She's just a museum piece. I mean, at least it's better than, like, being scrapped or something like that, as what happened to Elizabeth, but because people still do come and see her, people still do come and enjoy her presence. But, I mean, I suppose now that I think about it that way, it's certainly better than what happened to Elizabeth, but, like, still, you know? Also, it's been 65 years since she's first met Matsumoto, huh? I mean, like, dang, that's a long time. I suppose it really looks like Matsumoto has become a lot more human throughout this entire saga. I mean, like, this new Cube Man Matsumoto, like, his emotional range is, like, a lot bigger now. Like, back when we first saw him, he used to be wisecracking and he had human mannerisms, but, like, he didn't act very human. Like, he was all calculating, only ever acting on, you know, like, exact calculated responses. But as he grew throughout the series, because Matsumoto has a lot of character development too. Because, like, the way we see him in episode 1 and the way we see him now is just, there's been so much development behind that. Looks like they're gonna race on something. And to that, Vivy kind of goes into this little flashback simulation. I just want to say this. I'm calling this right now. You know that we haven't seen the end of that AI creator woman. I mean, although she's probably dead now, we're gonna see a bigger flashback of her later on because, well, first off, she has purple hair, which makes her very important. Like, another thing I'm calling right now, maybe, like, all the autonomous AIs are actually copies of human brains. That's a little theory I have. So, basically, Vivy's mental state was copied from her. And all the sisters that subsequently spawned are built off of that scientist's brain patterns. Just a little something to think about. But yeah, honestly, it was really sad seeing Vivy like this. Like, especially after, like, the last arc, because last arc was Vivy at, like, her peak. Or diva, but you get what I mean. It was her at her career's peak, and now she's just... It's all over. I mean, not only is, like, the Singularity Project over, but, like, her singing career, it's all over for her. Like, she's got... What else is there for her to do now than just, remind people that she once used to be, like, big and stuff? At least that Vivy did find a new, sort of find a new calling as a composer. And by the way, I really love this, but you know how Vivy starts composing a song? That song that she starts composing is the ED. So I thought that was really interesting. Also, seeing Osamu, you remember Dr. Matsumoto, right? That guy, the little kid. Seeing Osamu Matsumoto grow up, is like really surreal. Because although we've always been reminded of how much time is passing, like, we spend like 15 years after episode 1, after the first arc, 5 years after the second arc, and like 40 years after the second arc to the third arc. Although we've been reminded of all that time, we've never actually like sat down to like think about, okay, this guy is these people have spent this amount of years. These like it's always just been like number crunching. It's never have I like actually like been put into like I've never thought about it in perspective. I mean, we see Osamu grow up, get married, have kids. We see him do all that stuff, and it just kind of like reminded me like how short life is. Sure, Vivy is an AI. She's a robot. She doesn't age, but around her are humans. Humans grow old. Humans age. Oh god, I'm having a bit of an existential crisis right now, but like the point is, that was really interesting. It also looked like the wife died during childbirth because I mean, yeah, it looks like she died during childbirth. So it looks like little Luna won't have a mom. And that was really interesting. And by the way, that's a scene from the yesterday's preview. Vivy cradling little Luna. A little baby. A baby. The future of humanity. What's really interesting is that it looks like Vivy's gonna... I mean, if you know what's happened so far, Vivy's probably gonna outlive that little baby too. And yeah, we finally see Vivy go back into her little stage and compose a song about the Singularity Project and shows it to Matsumoto. And it's really beautiful. I mean, like, I've never, like, actually paid... Like, I've always been hyped by the OP. I never actually, like, paid as much attention to the ED, but dang, the ED really is beautiful. And that's another thing I love about Vivy. I've said this many times before. The OP took on a completely new meaning after episode 6. And I just love how, like, the OP and all that stuff is actually, like, a part of the show. Not only, like, is it a part of a canonical song that exists within universe, it plays a major role in some arcs. Especially in that episode, especially the Metal Float arc. I still say that episode 6 was probably one of the best episodes, but just the way it's played such an important role. And now the ED is also playing an important role in the story. So I really love that. And finally, after all that hard work, Vivy gets thanked by both Matsumotos, the AI Matsumoto and Dr. Matsumoto, and it just kind of drifts off there. Is what you think would happen, but no! Just when we think it's all over, there's the after credit scene, and after all that wholesomeness, of course we have to have more suffering, because Vivy is about suffering. The beautiful ED, the song that she composed as, like, a tribute to her experiences in life, becomes an ode of war, of destruction and death. Because of course it has to, because that's how this show is now, isn't it? Oh my god, and guess what? The Singularity Project, it failed. It failed, because of course it does. I mean, honestly, that, like, normally, the way this show goes is that you have... The pattern of this show generally tends to be that you have arcs are generally 2 episodes, except for the arcs are generally 2 episodes. Except for the last arc. But the first arc is not as hype. It's a bit calm. It's a bit more relaxed. And then it kicks into high gear on in the next episode. So the even-numbered episodes were usually the best. And this one is an arc beginning, but somehow it still manages to be absolutely insane. I was very invested in that episode. I thought it was an amazing one. Because I'm not saying that the arc starter episodes are boring. I'm just saying they're usually not as like high energy as the arc ending episodes. And yes, this episode was pretty calm too, but still somehow it manages to be very poignant and like just one of the best episodes in this show. Still, I still haven't like personally formed a judgment on whether it beats episode like 6 or not, but like that was really good. Just like the symbolism, the song, the meaning. I also watched this in a group watch today with some of my friends, so yeah, I was able to discuss with them like the episode and stuff and like how much I liked it. And yeah, I mean, overall, once again, another amazing episode, but honestly, like, what do I even expect now? Of course it's a good episode. Honestly, today's episode was a lot slower paced, I guess, but it was also a lot more poetic in a way. I don't know how to really describe it. It also kind of gave me like the vibe of like a final episode, even though it's not. Or at least throughout the episode, that's kind of like the vibe I got. It feels like a final episode. You've succeeded in everything. Everything's done, and it's all good. Life is good. I mean, it's not really the best, but you know, it kind of like felt like a final episode, if you get what I'm saying, or at least until the AI rebellion. But you get the idea, because although it did feel like a final episode, it did feel like it was finally settling down. The ending just completely ripped all that away. Like, all of that was just gone. All of that was just gone. Vivy's thrown back into, like, the battle again. This time. And, looks like she has to fight for the whole... And, yeah, her song has been used as appropriated, I suppose you could say, as a song of war and destruction. By the way, I just wanted to say this, but today's episode, I know it was 20 minutes, but it felt more like 5, because just because of the way it went by so quickly. Just this entire show felt like it went by super quickly, honestly. Like, 3 episodes left. That's, like... Oh, man. A part of me wishes this show would go on for longer because I just love it so much, but I know we can't do that because that will, like, be overextending the show. I remember back in episode 1 and episode 2 when I was like, oh, this show's a little too quick, like, fast-paced. I think it's going to be a decent show, but, like, not the best. I mean, look how my opinion has changed now, I guess, right? And, yeah, that's really all pretty much I have to say for this episode. I really liked it, as usual, obviously, but even so, I liked it, like, more so than your typical episode. I still say that episode 6 and, like, episode 4 were the best. I'd say episode 6 is probably the best episode, but this one might be up there. It didn't have any crazy action scenes like last time, which I think the crazy action scenes last time were amazing too. And as I say, I still don't think we've seen the end of Yugo Kakitani. I think that's how you say it. I still don't think we've seen the end of that guy. He's gonna come back soon, but yeah, it looks like Vivy's gonna start fighting the AI apocalypse now. So the Singularity Project has failed. The Singularity Project has failed. I can't wait to see where we're going from here. And yeah, that is it. Once again, I hope you all enjoyed this video, folks, and I hope you all enjoyed this episode as well. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and comment. If you haven't done so already, and make sure to smash that bell if you haven't done so. And that is that. Once again, I hope you all like this video, folks. And I love this show, and I will see you all next week. Anyways, that's it, folks. The sky's up, and you guys are awesome. I will see you all next week. Bye.